Have you ever been there? You're staring at a no-code tool. You've got all these amazing ideas for automations, but you're just stuck. You've watched a ton of tutorials, you've read the guides, but when it's time to actually build something, nothing happens. It's super frustrating, right? Well, the reason you're hitting that wall probably isn't what you think. Let's get into it.
Okay, this right here, this is the absolute core of what we're talking about. If you're struggling with this stuff, I want you to hear me loud and clear. It is not because you lack motivation. That feeling of being totally stuck, it's just a symptom of something else entirely.
So what gives? Why is this so hard? You know these no-code tools are powerful. You've got the ideas buzzing around in your head, but there's just something in the way. Well, the answer is actually pretty simple, and it has everything to do with how you're approaching it. All right, let's just bust this myth wide open. The real problem here isn't about your willpower. It's not about your drive. It's all about your strategy, the method you're using to try and learn all this.
And this basically reframes the whole conversation. See, you probably think the issue is you, some kind of personal failing, right? But the truth, it's a problem with your method. And you know what? That is fantastic news, because you can change a method. You are not the problem here. Your process is.
Okay, let's dive into the first big mistake. I like to call it information hoarding. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's that trap of just endlessly searching. You're on this constant hunt for the next tutorial, the next video, the next magic tip, and you never actually get around to building anything.
It's so easy to get lost in that YouTube rabbit hole. One tutorial leads to another, and before you know it, you spent hours just watching. And it feels like you're being productive, but really, you're just collecting a bunch of random puzzle pieces without ever sitting down to see if they actually fit together.
And here's the kicker. The result of all that searching, you end up with a head full of random facts but no real practical skill. You kind of know a little bit about everything, but you can't actually build one complete working automation from start to finish. Remember, just having information is not the same as having an ability.
All right, let's move on to the second major pitfall. Theory paralysis. This is a big one. It's that nagging belief that you have to understand every single nut and bolt of a tool before you're somehow allowed to start using it. You know, this is such a bad reflex to have, especially with no-code. It leads straight to what people call analysis paralysis. It's like you're so busy studying the map that you never actually start the road trip. You're waiting for this moment of perfect understanding, a moment that's, frankly, never going to arrive.
Look, no-code is a hands-on sport. It just is. The real learning happens when you're in the trenches, when you're actually building something, hitting errors, and figuring out how to fix them. You learn by doing, not by just thinking about doing. Building is the best way to study this stuff, period.
And that leads us perfectly into our third big mistake, trying to reinvent the wheel. Seriously, this one is all about working harder instead of smarter, simply because you're ignoring all the amazing resources that are already out there for you.
So what does this look like? Well, you open your no-code tool and you stare at that blank screen for every single project. You're trying to build every little piece of logic from scratch, even for super common things like, say, processing an online order or onboarding a new team member, stuff that thousands of people have already figured out. It's so inefficient and it's totally unnecessary.
I mean, really, ask yourself this. Why would you redo everything from scratch? The no-code community is incredible. People have built and shared tons of proven templates. And listen, using them isn't cheating. It's being smart. It lets you stand on the shoulders of giants, you know? You can focus your energy on the cool stuff, the customizing and innovating, not on rebuilding the boring basics.
Okay, so we've spent some time digging into the problems. Let's flip the script. Now, let's talk about the solutions. This is your path forward. This is how you finally break that cycle of frustration and start making some real, tangible progress.
So it really boils down to these three keys to success. First, stop the random YouTube hopping and find a structured method. Second, learn by doing. Build actual, concrete projects. Don't just watch other people do it. And third, use what's already out there. Start with existing templates and workflows. See a pattern? Each one of these is the exact opposite of the mistakes we just talked about. Simple, right?
Honestly, if you only take one single thing away today, please let it be this. Your motivation is not the problem. It's fine. Your desire to learn, it's there, it's strong. The only thing that needs to change is your approach. So please stop blaming yourself and start fixing your process.
So, with all that said, let's make this real. Don't just click away and forget about it. The shift from just thinking to actually doing starts right now. So here's my challenge to you.
What is one existing workflow you can use today? Maybe it's a super simple one, something that syncs your calendar to your to-do list. Find it, implement it, and solve one small problem. Because that, right there, that's how real progress begins.